Oh, yes, everybody. Here we go. Yet again, you are here for episode 13 of 2022, episode unknown of the life and times of the vidIQ Tuesday channel audit live streams. Welcome, one and all. For the next couple of hours, we will be imparting our knowledge, our wisdom, our entertainment chops, and our very questionable comedic skills as we take you through your channels. You are putting yourselves forward in the vidIQ lecture hall, classroom. How would I put this? The confessional corner, as we impart our knowledge, our wisdom, our thoughts that will hopefully help take you to the next step of your YouTube evolution and education and channel growth. vidIQ is the creator-obsessed YouTube education channel, software, and community. And as always, every single Tuesday, I could not do this auditing stuff without a collection of guests. And I'm going to introduce them, I think, in reverse order for once, because usually we do it with this person, then the next person, and then this person. But we're going to bring that person in first. All of the people in the green room now are just scared because they don't know who's going to appear on screen. So 3, 2, 1, who's it going to be? I caught him out. I knew he was going to be muted. Caught you out there, Viper.
Oh, is that what you were trying to do here? You knew my microphone we muted, so you put me in first. Okay, I will get you back. I know where you work. But what's up, people? It's your boy Viper, the man about tech, executive producer here at the IQ, and we are live.
Here we go. We are certainly live. Introducing next. Who's it going to be? You see, he did a visual cue rather than an audio cue just to make sure he was right. Awesome stuff, Jeff. How you doing?
Doing good, man. How's everybody doing today?
I think we're all doing awesome. And introducing last but not least, I think he may have done this on purpose. We're just introducing look, he planned this. He planned everything. Hey, Dan, how's it going? How you doing?
My neck hurts.
I'm sorry to hear that. But you'll do anything for live streams, and we really do appreciate it. Let's do some hellos. I'm going to start with you, Dan, and since you do have control of all of the bells, whistles, knobs, and sliders, you can introduce your own people and say hello to them.
Okay. I have that too. Hi, Dan says shorts, videos, animals. I'm only going to pick out people that say hello to me. Shards of Gaming, hello to you. Minecraft Transformers, hello. Who else? Is that it?
Yeah, there's not enough people, Dan.
Bruce Lee Edits. Okay. Someone called me Danny, so I'm not going to select them. Wild Dan appears out of nowhere, says Sim on Trains, hello to you. And then Accuboy Clan, hello to you.
Oh, very, very good. Viper, who are you saying hello to?
All right, who we got in here, man? I had a hello earlier, but now they're all passed. Let's go with the cryptological order. Hello to you. We can go with homekeeping channel. Hello to you. We have Redemption. Hello to you. And last but not least, Leanne Herman Films. Hello to you.
I want to try and find this person. Yes, look, thank you, Chris Gonzalez, for offering yourself as tribute to Dan. Dan, do you want to roast what little you know about Chris Gonzalez?
No.
So there's just no way you can go with that, is there?
Where's Travis when you need him, though?
Indeed. Look, we've got the green boy saying hello to Viper. And also 23 Live saying hello to Viper. You need to start saying hello to me very quickly if you can, please, because it's all hellos to Vipers, like the legendary studio. Also hello to Viper. Hello, Rick Curry to Viper as well. And Bruni is also hello to Viper. All right, Jeff, since you maybe don't have control of the chat, you're going to say hello to all of the people who are saying hello to me.
Nice. We got Muja Hero FX. We've got Kat in the chat saying hello. We've also got Franco7. And what's up to Denker Gold?
And last but not least, Joyce Helena with the emojis there. Hello to all of you. Thank you, vidIQ family, for joining us, as always, on a Tuesday. Do let us know in the chat if you are new to this live stream, or if you have been here several times, we want to make sure that you make the newcomers feel very welcomed in this community as we investigate your channels. And for those of you who are brand new, we're just going to explain how this live stream operates with a 60-second introduction. Welcome to the vidIQ channel audit live stream, where we review your YouTube channels. To submit your channel for review, make sure to fill out the right form linked in the video description. Note that we clear these forms after every live stream, so make sure to resubmit the following week. Channel audits are free, so please don't send us a super chat or spam us in a chat expecting a review. If there are alternative ways to get picked for an audit, we will let you know during the live stream. If we don't get around to reviewing your channel today, vidIQ has a channel audit tool working 24/7 with you. Make sure to download our tools and use the 30-day free trial using a link in the video description. If you submit your channel for review, expect the following. We are sharing nothing more than our knowledge, experience and passion as fellow YouTube creators. I want to give a huge shout out to all of our moderators who do a phenomenal job every single week. Thank you, thank you, thank you. As for all of you, well, thumbs up if you enjoy this live stream, subscribe if you love it, and if you know of a fellow creator who may find all of this stuff useful, please do share it with them. And with all of that being said, let's start auditing your channels. Tiny bit of housekeeping as always. We are continuing to support the Creators for Peace fundraiser. It is not a donation special this week, but if you do decide to donate and help the children of Ukraine, that is very much appreciated. We do have hundreds of channel submissions as always this week. Unfortunately, we can't audit every single channel. So what I recommend you do, if possible, is bring up a second screen with your channel so that when we're looking at thumbnails, titles, channel focus on channel A, you can apply it to your channel with many of the fundamentals that we often talk about. And with all of that being said, I think...
You sure, Rob, that you've never owned a clapper in your life? I asked you this last time, you told me no.
I beg your pardon? What is a clapper? Oh, that's
the clap thing that you do, man. You sure you never own one? You sure?
It's more for transitions. It's not for sound checks. I always forget to do that. Anyway, wait. We're going to audit some channels, right? Should we get into this?
We should.
Yeah. Dan's looking very uncertain about it. He was looking up and down, thinking, "Please help me, God, as if I'm in the right place." Well, Dan, the good news is for you is you don't have to audit this first channel. Oh, because I think this channel is right up Jeff Street, because it is Wayne Rex and they are a channel all about audio. So, Jeff, if you just want to give us your first impressions of this channel that was the first to submit in the forms. If you haven't filled out the form, do make sure to do that. What are we seeing here, Jeff?
So it looks like it's a bit different, right? Because there's audio and then there's also audio. So there's audio capture and there's audio reproduction. So what I usually get into is audio reproduction. So headphones, speakers, things of that nature, where this channel is all about audio capture. So he's talking about microphones. He's talking about different audio recorders, how to EQ. So this stuff is excellent. This is something where what I consider a highly useful channel, because audio is super, super important. Whether you're live streaming, whether you're doing just regular YouTube videos, whether you're doing TikTok, audio is still going to be incredibly important. So super, super useful channel. And then just kind of taking a quick look, I like the cleanliness of what he's doing. It seems like he has an idea. One of the things that I'm noticing, though, is that there's a pattern. There's a blue, there's a red, and then there's a gray. Blue and red don't have him in the thumbnail. The gray ones do, which is kind of interesting. So I'm assuming that that Wayne Rex here has some sort of a strategy behind what he's doing. Maybe the red are for a particular type of video. Maybe it's when he's doing a mic review. The blue ones are when he's teaching you something. So I kind of see a pattern. It sort of reminds me of kind of like what Think Media does. They have a certain style for certain types of content on their thumbnails, but really interesting channel overall. I'm gonna actually have to give this a look and see, because one of my favorite channels out there is well, actually two. Epos Vox does a lot of audio reviews, and also my buddy Bandrew over at Podcastage. So those are two excellent microphone reviewing channels. So he's probably, I'm assuming Wayne is probably familiar with them, but I like the way this looks overall. It's very clean.
There is a glorious symmetry
Mhm.
to this, depending on how many thumbnails you can get on each row. So, like when I have 6 thumbnails per row, he obviously has 3 different video formats, as you say, or shows,
Mhm.
and it goes from blue to red to gray. But here's the question: is that the right move? Because maybe your audience is resonating really well with the reviews, and if I look at just the red thumbnails, we see views in the high hundreds, occasionally low thousands. Whereas these are what I look to maybe more opinion pieces with him in the thumbnails themselves, like he's doing an audio audit of a channel, which seems
Mhm.
like a really good idea. The view counts tend to be generally lower just on initial impressions. Now, given that this channel is still relatively young, they've published 30 videos at this point, they're still finding their way. They went from just purely reviewing camera, perhaps audio equipment, to this mix of things. What do you reckon? Like, good strategy right now? Maybe needs to niche down a little bit.
I would say it seems like they've sort of niched into audio more than anything else, because I haven't seen a camera review since the beginning.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's maybe just because they haven't gotten a new camera. So if that could be something that could be coming up in the future again. But I like the fact that they've kind of gone into audio, kind of going that way with it. So I think that's probably the way to go. I think the way that they're niched, I think, is fine. Especially to kind of help them grow and kind of move forward, especially if they're focusing on, because they're doing Rode and they're doing some of this other stuff, Zoom H6 and things of that nature. I think if anything, if they're going to be focusing on these microphones or YouTuber microphones, then definitely start, if they haven't done so already, look at some of the bottom range microphones for sure, like stuff that's like under $50, under $100 for new YouTubers. Like, what could really help them improve their audio, whether it's without a mic or whether it's tips on how to improve the mic you have, or even just a budget setup. That might be the way to go. But also, I like the fact that they're doing, well, it looks like they're doing a couple of verses, and verses can do really well, especially if you're talking about 2 popular products. So
again, very small sample size, but when sorted by most popular, their Rode microphone reviews are the most popular. So that might be, I'm not saying you niche down completely to that content, but that could be your foundation for, you make all of these different types of videos, but remember to feed that Rode audience who enjoys your content. Dan and Viper, I just want to open up the floor to you. Any thoughts about thumbnails, titles, or anything else that you've spotted here?
I think it's cool that they have their content kind of in these columns, right? They've broken up the different types of videos that they're going to make every week or month or whatever it may be, and that's cool, and I think that's totally fine. The one thing I would say is that because it looks like such a deliberate decision to not put yourself in the thumbnail unless it's a gray thumbnail day, for example, I think you're kind of missing out on an opportunity to do some of the reviews in the same way, where you still use the red background, but you appear on it as well with the product. Because right now you're having to rely on a lot of text, and the product is drawing my eye. The text is not taking over, and the text is, when I do look at it, easy to read. But don't you think that it's a little redundant? Like, wouldn't it be better if you were in the thumbnail holding up the thing? Maybe in some cases the text is warranted. I don't know what you guys think, but I think I think they've created this really rigid schedule and they won't break from it no matter what. Even if, and I'm only worried about this, I don't know if they're actually doing this, but even if a thumbnail would look good with them in it, they're like, nah, it's a red thumbnail day. I don't put myself in red thumbnails.
A bit too formulaic, if anything.
So this is interesting because obviously he has his content color coded by different types of content that he's doing on any given day. And a lot of times in product centric videos, you want the product front and center in the thumbnail. So him not being in the thumbnail is not that big of a deal to me personally, because I think more people are going to come to the channel for his thoughts on the product and what the product can do for them, as opposed to seeing his face. I don't really have too many critiques about this particular channel. The only thing, and I really mean the only thing that I have something to kind of nitpick about is the banner. The banner says record, recount, recommends. Records what? Are we talking about music recording? I mean, obviously we know he's talking about microphone recording, but the average everyday person might not know exactly what you mean. So my only suggestion to you, Wayne, was maybe just to reword the banner to make it more clear about what your channel intention is. But other than that, I think you're on the right path, man.
Yeah, I think for a channel that's been around for 6 months, Over 500 subscribers, already getting views in the thousands. There's very high production quality here. I'm very encouraged to see where Wayne Rex goes next. What I would ask really selfishly, Wayne, is if you could audit this live stream, because you may have noticed I have ditched my beacon microphone and replaced it with a Revelator dynamic microphone. And I'm trying to figure out whether this sounds good or not. So yeah, give me a channel audit. Ruin your channel. Please give me a channel audio audit if you can. In the meantime, Dan, this is the first gaming channel that's submitted this week. So I'll throw it over to you for your expertise on what looks to be, just on very first impressions, a Animal Crossing channel.
Yeah, I love Animal Crossing. So let's take a look here. They are uploading 6 days, 4 days. Okay, so about almost once a day, give or take. They're experimenting with shorts and long form content. Cool. So this is interesting because Animal Crossing is an older game now. Obviously, it's been around for a couple of years. And the first thing I'm noticing of the thumbnails that I think look a little bit nicer, they're easy for me to kind of like latch onto because the shorts are they're shorts. They're kind of jumbling my eyes a bit. It looks like you're doing like a tutorial on how to move rocks, the stock market, which is like an Animal Crossing thing, like you're missing out on millions of bells. So that's obviously a tutorial on how to make money. Does money grow on trees? So some money making tutorials, things like that. I guess the concern I have about these tutorials is that it's the kind of that age old thing of like, it's been done, right? Like a lot of people, because the game's older, have covered it. And this is what like a lot of Minecraft channels struggle with, right? Like, how do you kind of break into a space where there are just thousands of creators starting basically every day playing this game, this massively popular game? A lot of the tutorial stuff kind of gets thrown out the window. So I think where I'm going with this is, if I were a channel like this starting today with a game that's kind of been covered to death, I would be taking it and doing other fun things with it. Like, can you use it as a staging area for something different? Like a lot of creators go the decoration route in Animal Crossing. So they take like an area and they turn it into something. And so the thumbnail usually represents that. And you can find people who have these like incredible builds. Yeah, we should probably look for some like Animal Crossing. Yeah, we'll just see what's going on. So these are some news videos, I think. Yeah, rural town. Okay, that's kind of what I'm talking about. So people have these different design ideas, and so they focus their videos in the space kind of on that, if they're not kind of covering news or how-tos. And now I believe, I don't know if there's going to be any more updates for this game, not to mention like the news is going to be gone because there's no updates, and then the tutorials have kind of all been done. So that's kind of what's left in a game like this. And same with Minecraft. It's tough to like break in on the updates and things like that, but can you take this game, which involves a lot of creativity, and then show your audience how creative you are? Or if you feel like you're lacking in that space, can you do the opposite? Can you say like, I will never understand whatever it is you're trying to build, and then go from there?
The thumbnails have a very colorful, striking vibe, Dan. I often see a character from the game and then some colorful landscapes, and I think this creator is going in that direction. Perhaps the closest approximations are these, but there's still, I still feel as if they're lacking enough instinctive association with the game. Like this one, for example, I can see what they're trying to do there in terms of the foundations of a thumbnail, but it just doesn't feel Animal Crossing enough for me, just given what the quick research we've done.
Yeah, I don't think their face was needed in that. I think, honestly, what would sell more is if you took your character from the game and put them. And if you're physically in the video, like your webcam's in the corner, like a lot of gaming channels do, that's totally cool, and I support that. And there are some cases where, and it looks like they are, there are some cases where creators should be in the thumbnail in gaming videos, but this is one where I think if you had led with your character's face, it would have been more recognizable as Animal Crossing, because as Rob said. Well, this is interesting. So it's a vlog about the game.
Yeah, I'm just wondering what the expectations are being set from the viewer. You know, when you immediately jump into a Animal Crossing video or a gaming video, you tend to see gameplay first, and we're seeing a lot of the presenter, and I'm wondering if that's having a possible impact on their audience retention. like talking about stock market, and we were 30 seconds in there, and we were still seeing the creator talk to camera. And I'm wondering if that might not be the best strategy. I'm just going to do another one. Yeah, as you see, tracking down, there seems to be a lot of possible preamble. 2-3 minutes in, now we get some gameplay footage. 4 minutes in, and so on.
It is possible, and I don't know anything about this creator, but it is possible that they don't have a capture card, and without a capture card and the Nintendo Switch, all you have in terms of footage is 30-second captures. Like, you can hit a button and it'll capture the last 30 seconds, and then you can port those for your computer. If you're going to do a channel like this, a capture card is essential. Like, that is, I would do capture card way before I would get really nice DSLR camera. So that way you can get high quality footage and as much of it as you need. That's assuming you don't have one. It looks like you do a lot of these vlog style videos, which is, I would say, it breaks away from a lot of traditional gaming videos. Usually the gaming creator is in the corner and the game is the star of the show. So it's just kind of an interesting way to approach this content. And I think given the thumbnail and then what we saw in the video, the audience there might be a disconnect there. It's just not what they're expecting to see. So that would be my biggest suggestion. I'm kind of glad we clicked in there because I'm kind of surprised.
Again, quick question for you. Out of just pure curiosity, what kind of capture card would someone need to capture that type of gaming content off of a Switch?
Yeah, so Elgato kind of owns this market. So they're not a sponsor or anything, but I've used an Elgato HD, is it 60 or 60S or something? So yeah, that's, as long as it captures at least 1080 and 60 frames, that's more than enough for the Nintendo Switch and then a PlayStation or whatever you want to do. So it is an investment. A lot of YouTube channels are, right? There's always something we got to spend a little bit on. And fortunately, if you're covering consoles, it's not a gaming PC. Usually you have that in the console. Now you just need a decent enough PC to run the capture software and things like that.
Yeah,
cool. I'm trying to look around for my Elgato USB. Is it just like the standard USB one, Dan, or it's,
the Cam Link?
Yeah, like the Cam Link ones.
The Cam Link might work. I have mine's like a rectangle, and it's not a dongle. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it has some of the bigger ones, like mine, have like an output too, so you can actually put in the footage. It comes into your computer, and then you can output it in real time to another source, which is kind of nice.
Nice.
A final broader question here, Dan, because we'll probably encounter this in another channel as well. Shorts versus longs. I see the shorts, and then in opposition to that, we have 8-minute videos, 14-minute videos. The long videos at the moment they're struggling to get above 10 views, whereas the shorts, on occasion, we have one here with 1,000 views. Do you think there's a possible challenge with video length in that when the creator does want to make regular videos, they need to be much shorter, like in the 1 to 2 minute range, or are we putting too many restrictions on the channel?
I think if they're going to be longer, so if you're trying to get your shorts viewers to watch the long form content, this is very specific advice for that problem.
Yep.
So you're doing these character spotlights, and I can see some clothing. I would expect the longer form videos to be a longer version of that if I were trying to get people to watch from my shorts to my long form content. If you're not going to do that, I still think it's okay. I really do believe that shorts and long form videos are just in two separate buckets, and you can get away with doing both. And the further apart they are, I think the worse it is, the more you should just start a new channel. If you're going to do Animal Crossing long form videos and then shorts about your dog, that's two separate channels. But it's Animal Crossing to Animal Crossing is close enough. So it's kind of just depends on their goals, is what kind of the way I'm trying to say that.
Okie dokie. So that is Yasmin's Cozy Nook. Folks, if you're enjoying this live stream and you find it valuable, then do make sure to give us a thumbs up, because I'm looking at our statistics and we have more than 400 people watching and only 287 likes. So where are the rest of you? Okay, let's get back to actually auditing some channels. And Viper, you sent my way Amanda Campbell, who does a bit of everything. What bit of everything do they do on their channel?
Okay. This is interesting because this is supposedly a cleaning channel, and it does look like there's some cleaning content on here. But it's kind of funny because when I saw her in the chat earlier and she talked about how she had a cleaning channel, I remember she was on our live stream not too long ago. I think it was either last week or the week before last. And I think she was the one asking about whether or not she should start talking in her video, because I think right now she doesn't talk in her video. She just does the cleaning, and that's the brunt of the content. So I think when she asked the question last, we got suggested to her that maybe try talking in some of your videos, try explaining the way you do things and what cleaning ingredients you're using or what cleaning techniques that you are doing while you are showing the B-roll of you cleaning. And that might be a different way to do your content. So I think that'll be my first thing. The other thing is you might want to do something about some of these thumbnails. These thumbnails are not very eye-catching at all, just to be brutally honest. I think what you might want to consider doing is taking some more close-up pictures of maybe dirty surfaces, or maybe you using whatever cleaning instrument you're using, just to get a more close-up picture of that stuff, so you can make the thumbnail more make it more eye-catching, so people can actually see what you're doing. And all these thumbnails with text on them that I'm looking at right now, definitely don't want to do that, because yeah, it just looks like Instagram spam to me. And yeah, I don't know. Anybody want to jump in here?
It feels as if both the thumbnails and the videos themselves are cropped in some really weird ways. Like, this is a square video with landscape, even though the video is 1 minute 30, so it is a long form piece of content. I don't know why this wouldn't just be shot in 16:9 to fit the widescreen format. And then in the same in the thumbnails, some of them are cropped at the top and the bottom. So, you know, we don't often say this, but maybe just checking the general rules of thumbnail dimensions and video dimensions to, as Dan always likes to say, especially with shorts, make the viewing experience as good as possible, so that they're not immediately turned off by some weird stuff going on in terms of the playback.
Yeah. I think you're saying you use InShot, and I mean that's cool, but I would stay away from using anything that crops your content. If you're not, and if it doesn't need to be cropped, like this right here, that shouldn't be like that. I don't. You what I tell you all the time is that you have to understand that most of the people that are watching your content are watching it from a cell phone or a mobile device, something that is a smaller display. So we're talking about anything from like 4 inches to 6.7 inches usually. So when you consider that someone is watching your content on a display that small, you don't want to make their viewing experience more difficult than it already is trying to watch from that size display. So you don't want to be doing any unnecessary cropping or anything like that doesn't add value to the content. So I would probably maybe step away from using InShot and try using something else. Or I don't know, I've never used InShot, so I don't know what type of graphics options they have, but that crop thing that you had going on, you don't want to do that.
Yeah, so we presume they're probably going to be a mobile creator, because I think InShot is a Google app. So there are some challenges there, but there should be options to film in a certain what's called aspect ratio to make sure that you get the widescreen look. I know one of the videos they made was about a stove top cleaning, so I just did a bit of research here about the different possible thumbnails. You got the classic ones with the reactions, also ones with the really detailed shot of something that looks absolutely disgusting, but then it's cleaned afterwards, and the before and after ones as well. So there's a few clues and tips maybe to follow with content in terms of your cleaning. And then channel focus. You know, we look at, as you say, Viper, they feel as if they're loosely a clean with me channel, but then the last 5 videos are titled whatever, funny, Bobby with berries, safe, disappeared. And I don't know what any of those videos are really about.
I don't either.
No, I agree. I think this goes for everybody who's not already doing this. I'm talking to everybody in the chat, including Amanda Campbell. Before you turn on your camera to record something, when you have that idea, go to YouTube and type that idea in, whatever that is. If it's stovetop cleaning, whatever it is, type it in, do a little bit of thumbnail research beforehand. This way you can have an idea of what kind of pictures you can take, what kind of thumbnail ideas you can pull based on what people are actually clicking on. This also goes for titles as well. Give you an idea what a good title structure is for that video that you're looking at. So just do that ahead of time. Get those 2 things in place before you turn on your camera. Try to get that thumbnail ready. Try to get that title ready 100% for sure. and then turn on your camera. And that way you can have that beforehand and you're not struggling to figure that out once you're uploading the video.
It's
Money advice.
sorry, we've moved on. Never mind.
Duke and Dan.
No, it's
we wanna hear from
okay.
you. No, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think they also should kind of make the choice between how to cleaning video, how to clean a stove versus a clean with me, which I would expect to be a lot longer, or versus a satisfaction kind of video where you take something that's really nasty and like by the end of the video, it's clean. But in those last two examples, those I believe are much longer videos, and it's weird, but I don't know if they would appeal to exactly the same person. But that's for them to research.
And Dan, you get your own sound effect. Moving on. Accuboy Tech. Jeff, I'm seeing an aviation channel here. I know in the past that you've shared that channel, which has a cluster of 747s on an aircraft carrier, which just makes me laugh every time I see it.
Air Force Proud 95. Yeah, I love that guy.
I always think that every channel should just do that. But that's because I know very little about the aviation channel sector. So what are we seeing here?
Well, that channel we were referring to was a flight simulator channel.
Yeah,
so
not quite the same.
Here. Yeah, so this, I mean, it's close though. There's still some ideas that can always be pulled from stuff like that, especially inspiration wise. But this is like this channel, from what I've seen at a glance, they're talking about the different Boeing. They're talking about the different types of aircraft themselves, like the actual hardware. One of the things that I would, that I can see they can improve on would be, of course, the thumbnails, because they're using a lot of text here. But honestly, I don't really think it's necessary in some of these. That's almost illegible. Just one of the things where if we're going to use text, even though you're designing it, you think, oh, I can totally read this because you're the one writing it. But when people look at this at a glance, they can't read that. Like there's a second at the top, second from the left. I think it says, what is the Boeing 777X? And then there's red text. And it's like, I can't read that. So it's stuff like that where
this is red text on a thumbnail, klaxon alert. We want to stress that is a big no, because you can't read it unless you use a magnifying glass. Yep.
And especially at that size. So if you're going to use text in your thumbnails, 3 words or less. Like when they did this, there's one in the middle that says, what is? I don't understand what that means, but that's kind of the general idea, is you want to make it big. You want to have less than 3 words and make it pop. Otherwise, if we're just talking about the plane itself, a picture of the plane will do just great, to be completely honest, from what I've seen from a lot of the aviation channels. Same thing goes for automotive channels. You'll see a lot of that in there as well, because it's the product. People are showing up because they're searching the car, they're searching the boat, they're searching the plane, not necessarily that topic, but your title is what can really draw them in.
As I looked at this thumbnail, I was thinking, Jeff, this might be a more effective way of doing it. Instead of all of this text, you just have an arrow pointing to the bent wing and the question why, to create intrigue. I feel as if that would be more intriguing to win a potential click. Having said all of what we said there, Jeff, this channel does have, let me just turn that off, only 189 subscribers, but some of the view counts here are very, very encouraging, like 3,000 here, 7,000 here. It's clear that they have some knowledge that people enjoy watching. 17,000 down here as well, which is really encouraging.
Yep. Agreed.
Just a general rule of thumb to remember when you are making thumbnails. Keep it simple.
Yep. 100%, man. And then I'm not sure what this latest video is, but it's cool to celebrate, even if it's a short and things like that. But for the most part, your audience isn't going to show up for like milestone type videos. Yeah. So just as a heads up, if you just need to put out a piece of content, don't do that. Like if you feel like I got to throw something out there, it has to make sense to your viewers. They show up to you for aviation content, give them aviation content. Don't give them like milestones and things like that. It's, that's saved for something else, like whether it's a live stream, something like that. That's cool. But when they come to you for whether it's shorts or your regular videos, give them aviation content.
I watched a video the other day where a creator waited till the very end of their video to announce that they just hit 5,000 subscribers. They did the whole video like they would normally do it, and then they said, by the way, we just hit 5,000 subscribers. I want to thank everyone, blah, 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 blah. And that was like perfect. No 5,000 subscriber special, no anything like that. That's the perfect way to do it. I had no idea, because I don't really go to the channel to see their content. It just pops up on my TV in my recommendeds, and I click on it. And I just thought it was a really classy way to do it.
Yeah.
All right, just before I move on from his channel, I want to test something first of all to see if this works. But I want you to tell me what's the first thing you notice when I start playing this video. So hopefully this is going to work.
Which is better for airlines, the Airbus A350 or the Boeing 787?
I saw Dan's face there. Dan, what was that?
Wait, are you moonlighting as a voiceover guy, Rob? Is that what we're hearing here?
Robots. I don't like when people use a robot voice to narrate their videos. And I think a lot of people feel the same way. It's a personal thing for me, so I can't be like, that's the wrong thing to do. But I feel like a lot of people agree with that personal feeling.
Yep.
For long form content, yes. I think short form TikTok stuff was more of an acceptance for the AI voice. So I think what we're saying here, Dan, is we don't want this channel to necessarily just adopt their voiceover themselves. Maybe what they want to practice doing is recording the video is fine with the robot voice, but then do a second recording where they do a voiceover. Don't publish it, just to practice.
Yeah.
Because that's going to add a bit of uniqueness to your content in the future. And if you find out you're absolutely terrible at doing this and it never works for you, then maybe use a professional voice artist. I'm sure you can find somebody on Fiverr who can do it relatively cheaply.
Fiverr.
Or hire Dan.
Or hire Dan. Yeah. I think Fiverr would be a little bit cheaper. But for the length of these videos, it probably wouldn't cost you that much to get somebody to voice them over.
Yeah. And I knew a channel that was doing something similar to this at the very beginning. And then they found that they could get I guess they got a deal with the guy to do the voiceovers for them for very cheap. And their videos were no longer than 3 minutes a pop. And when he went from robot voice, I think they had gotten maybe 700, 800 subs with a robot voice. But when they made that switch, you can see it in their analytics channel I talked to. You can see it in the analytics when they switched over to a pro voice guy, or maybe semi-pro, I would say, but he's good. He's good. Mm-hmm. And it immediately you see this change in the views and how it started to climb up. And he was like, yeah, that was the best thing that I did for my channel, was actually hiring a guy, because you can tell that he's human, and the way he reads, the guy can read his jokes perfectly where the bot would mess up. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, because he was putting humor into his scripts, and it's a faceless channel, but as long as you have a human voice that people can connect with, it worked really well. And the guy he hired does a faux light Southern accent. It's amazing.
All right, I just want to dig into this for a minute or two real quick. So the reason why I think me and Dan and other people are so against the robot voice is because it kind of detaches the creator from the content. And when we as a viewer feel like you, the creator, is detached from the actual content, why should we, the viewer, care about the content if we feel like you, the creator, don't care about the content? So that's why I'm like, Dan, the moment I click on a video and I even think I hear a robot voice, I'm out of there. It just irks me to no end. Now, I know this is a personal thing, but it seems like I'm not the only person that shares the sentiment. So when you make content as a creator, you want to humanize your content as much as possible. You want to put every ounce of you into the content, because that's part of the reason why we call it YouTube. YouTube was made so that everyday people can upload pieces of themselves to the internet for other people to consume and rock with. So when you take the you out of YouTube, it doesn't jive right. So that's just my 2 cents.
Yep.
All right. Something I want you to all do. I want you to give your facial expression when you hear the robot voice at the start of a video in 3, 2, 1. Clip that, everybody, and you can use that as a meme. All right. Speaking of memes and contests, last week we did have a channel audit contest, but we postponed it because we had the donation special. But I didn't want those creators to feel left out. And so we asked you to describe your feelings about vidIQ through the wonder of a GIF. And I thought, I don't know if I'm doing the right thing here. This may be a possible stalker who's created this GIF especially for me. But Manga Crash was the winner of the GIF competition last week. And so we are going to audit their channel. And it looks a little bit like this. They have approaching 1,500 subscribers. And they are definitely covering manga. My guess is either comics or animation manga. And they look to have a fairly healthy channel here. Hundreds of views, sometimes thousands of views for a channel with 1,400 subscribers seems very healthy to me. Thumbnails are a little bit here, there, and everywhere. I think there's some really good examples of thumbnails, whereas some just seem maybe disconnected from a brand consistency point of view, but they are of a decent standard. You know, we've talked about text already, and some of these do use text, but they use it thoughtfully and they make sure it's very readable. Those are my first impressions. I'm just going to open it up to the floor. Has anybody else noticed anything immediate here for Manga Crash?
I just have a question, Rob. What if Manga?
I think Manga is animation for hardcore, passionate, enthusiast people of cartoons.
Mangas are like comic books and like graphic novels is what manga is. So you have anime, which are like the animated versions of it, and then you have manga, which is more graphic novel, more comic book, that sort of side of it. So it's for the readers, not for the watchers.
I guess what I would be asking myself if I was this creator is, out of all the different properties that I'm covering, which ones tend to pull in the biggest audience? And then like maybe it's hard to limit yourself to just one of those. So I'm not saying the whole channel should just be about that, but could you try and find the similarities between these top videos here and then some other things you haven't covered yet that you'd like to get into? Because I wonder if that's the reason some of these videos have thousands of views and while others have hundreds of views.
They're eating you alive in the chat there, Viper.
All good.
That's an honest question though, because it's true. Some people aren't into manga. Like, you have to remember, some of you guys are totally into it. Some people are not. Personally, I love anime, but I'm not into manga. Just what it is.
That's why it's kind of hard to audit this channel without, it's so beyond me. So it's hard for me to say like, well, those two things aren't even remotely the same. So why would you put them on the same channel? You know what I mean? Because I just don't really understand the audience. But I would assume they do. And so our general advice would be to look at these things side by side and go, okay, when I post about this, it gets thousands of views. So what things, what does that audience also gravitate towards? And that just kind of comes with time, like getting into these communities and being more a part of the conversation.
We can see different formats here as well. Like, some feel as if they're video essays. They're asking a question about, I love the way you put this, Dan, like one of the properties of manga. But there are also listicles, bests and worst. And so they are trying several different forms of video format. And then just one here that's thrown in, something to a complete layman, something about the Spider-Man manga. So I wouldn't usually associate Spider-Man with manga, right? Those are two slightly divorced cartoon animation manga styles. So it's interesting that there was an attempted blend there between what's available for audiences.
Yeah. And I wouldn't be afraid of looking at older stuff as well, especially if it drives larger amounts of traffic. And this is where you'd be looking at stuff like Google Trends to try to figure out what's stronger. When you have one title and another title and you're trying to figure out which video you want to make, look at which one's got much more searchability, what's got a higher amount of popularity going on right now, and that way you can get into that.
I saw shonen as one of the manga topics that they were covering quite extensively.
Listicles work really well for this stuff too, both listicles and tier list videos.
Yeah. Any other thoughts? Just maybe thoughts on thumbnails, because we're seeing some. I don't know if this is good diversity or there needs to be a bit more consistency. Like, this type of thumbnail is very different to this one. You wouldn't necessarily know it's from the same creator. Then there's one here which is different again. There's no manga elements to it at all, but it got 1,500 views. So there's a curious mix of thumbnails, and I don't know if one particular style is working better than the other.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I want to go look at like the thumbnails of other people in the space, but it's hard to know what to search for.
So, Rob, about that, the thumbnail consistency, right? So for people maybe that land on your channel or maybe your subscribers, that might work. But we know that YouTube treats every video as an individual entity. So I guess the question is, is thumbnail consistency that important when YouTube treats every video as an individual piece of work?
I think it is in terms of return viewers, because like if you look at these 3 thumbnails, you would, if you already enjoy this channel, you would instinctively know that these are from this creator. In my opinion, these thumbnails look very similar. Whereas you look at this thumbnail and that thumbnail and that thumbnail, for all I know, these 3 different thumbnails could be just, again, instinctively seeing it on a homepage suggested, these could be all from different creators. So if you've already got some trust and loyalty with this creator, you may be losing out on that return viewer opportunity. I guess I'm just asking a question here. I think, generally speaking, I think all of these thumbnails are of a decent standard. They're all, 6, 7 out of 10s, but perhaps 6, 7 out of 10s for potentially different audiences who may click on these thumbnails.
Yeah, I think the chat seems to be loving these thumbnails. So, hey.
Yeah, I think some of them look fantastic. I think, even this one, which I don't think is as stylistically impressive as, say, this one, it does have its own merits. I think just maybe the list here needs to be displayed in a more, again, instinctive fashion, because I could look at that and think it's a Steam list of video games, as opposed to, or like a Discord set of channels. It's lacking something a little bit.
Well, the graphic there, the character covers the graphic element of that list. Like I can barely see it, but each name on that list has a little graphic next to it, like a thumbnail, and they put a character over it. And the character should have probably been on the opposite end, looking in the opposite direction. And then I would have zoomed in on the list. Like, these are just subtle changes, to make for your next one. It was a live stream, but as we know, live stream thumbnails are also a thing. They're important.
But when we look at this thumbnail, you can see lots of good fundamentals here. 3 dominant colors, 3 of all our elements. The text is used minimally, but it's placed in a really good place. And so, I would give this thumbnail, just by its own standard, a thumbs up. But does it get clicks? That's the ultimate, because that one's got 500 views, whereas this one got 1,200 views. Is it the topic that's a little different?
I think the title on that one that you were just highlighting is the problem. Like,
it's
showing jump batch number 1, but first thoughts is like buried. My first thoughts on title of thing. I think there's just too many elements going on in that title.
And perhaps that first thought shouldn't be in the thumbnail as well. It should be a thought.
Yes.
Maybe a controversial one, or something that's going to create discussion before the viewer even clicks.
Yeah.
But I think we've had quite a constructive critical conversation here, but I think we're doing this because this channel has already had some success. They've got 1,000 subscribers. They're probably close to monetization at this point. They're doing a lot of things right. And as you say, Dan, we're just looking for those subtle, nuanced changes to help bring more consistency to every video. You want to get 1,000 views every video as opposed to 1 in every 5.
Right.
All right, let's move on to the next channel. And they call themselves Pure Drive Physio and Performance. And just very quickly, 3, 2, 1. What's this channel about?
Golf.
Now, I was thinking
I cheated.
You were going to struggle to answer that, because when I look at this channel, it took me about 10 to 15 seconds to work out it was about golf. Because when I look at golf videos, what do you tend to see? Green lawn, blue sky, and a long pole. And I immediately associate that with golf. But here, I feel as if, and Dan, we've talked about this a couple of times now in live streams, I feel as if I'm having to think a little bit more about the thumbnail and the title before I understand what it's about.
That is why
I could be wrong. Right. Okay. So you thought the same thing. Interesting.
Yes. I saw a channel. I liked the name of the channel, Pure Drive Physio and Performance. Like, it kind of made sense to me. Like, especially once I saw the logo, like, it's a golf channel about improving your performance. Fantastic. Click on the channel, see the thumbnails. I'm underwhelmed, because I think a lot of what they do takes place at home and in a gym. And you can absolutely work on your golf game at home, in a gym, etc. The problem is there's a disconnect. You're not clearly communicating that the goal of what you're doing is to improve at this other thing. So it looks like a fitness channel when you see the shorts and stuff and you see them, they're in a gym, and it looks like you're doing different stretches in your thumbnails and things like that. The golf club gets cut out in a lot of thumbnails when it is there. So that is the big issue. I think what you should do, maybe you don't live right next to a golf course, for example. What I would do is once a month, I would pack up the car with some extra shirts and some golf clubs. I would go to a local golf course, rent some equipment or whatever you need to do to have some time there, and then do a photo shoot, like get a whole bunch of thumbnails canned with you doing different poses and things like that, so that you can have the green behind you in every single one of these thumbnails. If you're going to be talking about improving your golf game, it needs to feel like a golf channel.
I've just highlighted some of the thumbnails in red to show you that if I just looked at the thumbnail and I didn't see the title, I would have no idea any of these were about golf.
Yes. Yep. Is this you? Beat Father Time. You're back. Well, thank you. So a lot of these, stop doing this. They're very vague, and I think that golf imagery is missing in every single thumbnail. So I believe if you were to just make that change, a lot of stuff starts coming together for you. Because these titles are pretty good. I actually like their titles. The shorts are working, but remember where people find shorts. They're not really looking at the title or the thumbnail when they go into them.
Yeah.
I just want to piggyback off of what Dan just said about having your channel feel like what is actually the actual subject matters you're trying to tackle when somebody lands on your channel. Having your thumbnails actually convey that feeling. Because a month or two ago, we reviewed a real estate channel on one of these audit live streams. And the thing that I said about that real estate channel was that when I landed on it, it felt like some type of rap video channel. And I'm just like, this does not feel like real estate to me at all, because the way the thumbnails and the text were designed, it felt like I was on some up-and-coming rapper's YouTube channel. And when you have that type of a disconnect, when your content is about golf, but it looks like it's about fitness, people are going to just leave. Again, I said it before and I'll say it again to you all. When someone lands on your YouTube channel, it should take them less than 30 seconds to figure out what it is you're trying to talk about or what the general message of your channel is. If it takes any longer than that, you're probably going to lose a potential viewer. We're just bad like that. As human beings, we just have a short attention span. So you got to spoon feed it to us and make it as simple as possible.
Yeah, that's why I always tell people 6th grade level. Think of your thumbnails in that sense. Make it very simple to understand. And I like that Rob was showing some of the thumbnails for improving golf swing, because it's very obvious what Dan and Rob were talking about as well is the green. Like the green is missing from these. That's what gives us that golf, ping in your head. So
what I do want to say is that objectively speaking, these thumbnails are actually quite good in terms of the layout, the way the elements are used. I think the text is really striking, but the audience is just preconditioned to see thumbnails in a certain way for that topic. And maybe your thought process was that you want to stand out in the golfing niche as these completely different thumbnails. I credit for you for trying that, but it doesn't look as if it's working currently. You've got now probably a day. Well, I'd say you've tested this with maybe 10 to 15 thumbnails so far. So if the data here is suggesting that it's not quite working, so, keep that same high standard of thumbnail, but start to think about the greens and the blues. And I think what you often see in the golf thumbnails is that they almost try and turn them into a computer game look, where they have an arrow swing pointing somewhere, or the different, the 3 different positions of a swing, and so on. These are just something that I'm much more used to seeing, and of course are very effective. So Pure Drive Physio and Performance is that channel. And now we're going to look at Steam Twins TV. All right, first impressions. What do you think this channel's about? First one to answer gets a sound effect.
I'm looking at the banner. It says, we want to be YouTuber mom. What the hell does that even mean? Okay. All right, we're going to go past the banner and go to these actual titles and thumbnails. And too many of these thumbnails look too similar. That's my first critique. Let's see, Twins React. Okay. Okay. So it looks like it's a channel with twins. So I got that much. And it looks like they're just doing a bunch of different reactions.
The reaction channel.
Okay. Yep. That's what it looks like. Let's see. We're reacting to Backroom. We're reacting to more Backroom. What is TikTok? Backroom. Okay. What Backrooms? What is Jeff? What happened here?
So you're gonna want to do this on your own time there, Viper, but you can look up the Backrooms. It's kind of it's like a creepypasta that people have been making videos and video games about. It's definitely creepy. If you want to look it up yourself on your own time, knock yourself out. But that's what they're reacting to because it's there's a lot of traffic around it on YouTube, so it makes sense. Especially if you're going to be doing reactions to like creepypastas or like scary videos, it makes perfect sense for them to be reacting to the Backrooms right now because it is something that is semi-trending in that space.
So do I need to use this sound effect?
Yes.
Yeah.
100% yes.
So here's my impression now that you've gone to, it looks like the most viewed. The first, maybe what might be the first one they did great, 17,000 views, one of the earlier ones. Lately, though, in the last month, weeks, they've been doing what looks like, thumbnail-wise, title-wise, almost the same exact thing. And I think there's not enough difference between these to attract maybe the 17,000 people who watched the first one, right? Because it might feel like I've already seen this video, even though they know it's a different video. It might feel like been there, done that. Because you're not putting enough into the title and thumbnail to make it seem like, no, but this backroom video is different because of this thing that happens in it. That's like missing for me in just having some time to study these.
Okay, so just to clarify what you're saying there, Dan, the creator has done the right thing in that they had a successful video,
yes,
and they're doubling down on that topic, but the similarity of a thumbnail itself may be telling the viewer that they've already seen this video. And so they need to change maybe they keep the topic the same, but maybe the thumbnail needs a bit of tweaking to offer something that seems new to the viewer.
So it's like, so here's what they're doing. Twins react to the Backrooms is the first one. And that the draw there is it's twins reacting to something, I think. But from there, it's every single title. Twins react to Backrooms and then the interesting bit kind of shoved in the title. So what it looks like to me is a gaming channel who's playing a game with a really long name, and they're choosing to put the name of the game as the first part of the title, and then whatever they're doing in the video is the second half of the title, which makes it really hard for people to see. Like, I know the game is this, like, what are you doing in the video? So the twins react thing, like, they're going to see that you're twins when they click into the video. Maybe twins react is the last thing. That worked for the first video. I would be playing around with different titling structures to see, like, you know, reacting to missing persons, or I don't know, it's hard to think on the spot now. I'm looking at the titles, but there's the interesting bit is like missing for me in a lot of the titles now that they've kind of repeated the same titling strategy and it's not paying off as well when they continue to double down on it.
Yeah.
All right, Dan, I'm going to disagree with you a little bit here.
Go ahead.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
Wait for the sound effect to finish.
The channel has 400 subscribers.
Yes.
And each of these videos is continuing to reach a wider audience than their current subscriber size.
Yes.
So I think they are doing something right here in that they're doubling down on their best content.
I agree.
Maybe I'm misinterpreting what you're saying here. I don't want this channel to think that they're doing anything wrong with the audience that they're targeting.
I apologize. I'm not being clear enough. The graph is going in the wrong direction is what I'm trying to point out. 2 months ago, they were at 17,000 views.
That was a one-off, though. That was just an exception.
Right. But 9 days ago, 1 day ago, look at where the view counts are for the
I would
recent
take them.
videos. They're not bad views. I'm not saying that these are bad views. I'm just saying I want to see the graph trending in the other direction. And so that's what I would be doing to continually get it to trend in the right direction. Because I don't know if twins react to back rooms is going to be another, like, when is that going to hit 17,000 views again? You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm trying to say.
Jeff, you're the arbiter. Who just won this argument?
I would say you guys both make an excellent point.
No, he's sitting
no,
on
but-
the fence.
But he's right. I think I agree with you too. I don't want them
Yeah.
to completely abandon their what they're doing, because they obviously are doing something right. I just want to see the graph trend in the opposite direction, and that's going to take some tests. It looks like in their latest couple of videos here, like Twins Try Not to Laugh challenge, like they're trying different types of twin videos, which could be a way to go. But maybe there's still the backroom thing might still work. It's just you got to keep playing with the concept.
Yeah, I agree. And I think there's going to be a viewership for reactions to scary stuff. And that might be the thing. And maybe Try Not to Laugh does not make sense with this type of channel. And I'm not saying that the twins have to continue doing only backrooms. You don't have to. But I would look at other things that kind of an audience, the people who are into this type of content, would also be into. And that might not be laugh challenges or food challenges. That could be a completely different channel. So if you want to go down this path with like how they did a twins react to top 10 scary videos, things like that, then that could be along the kind of horror genre line of reactions where you're doing ghost videos, or you're doing monster videos, doing creepy pastas, doing stuff like that. So there's a lot of ways that you can expand, but still have it make sense to the type of viewer that likes that type of content. So just think about it in that strategy wise. What kind of content the people who are into the backrooms, what else are they into? If that makes sense. And I mean, not to say you can't do laugh challenges and stuff, but think about your viewership. Think about the people that have already come to you before. Start thinking of it in that sense, and it might work a little bit better for you.
Dan, I respect you. Let's do a fist bump and makeup.
Wait, which way? Wait, is it? Oh, there we go. Hey,
There we go. Done.
Ow.
Nice work. Nice work. All right, folks, we're an hour into this, and we've been giving you some helpful advice and personalized strategies for your channels. Did you realize we have a full suite of tools that can help you with your YouTube growth? And we've covered them in the past with daily ideas, the title generator, channel audits. But of course, there are times when you will want to celebrate your success. And you can do that down the left-hand side here with achievements. vidIQ will give you a rundown of all of the things that are going well on your channel and celebrate them. We've hit 1 million subscribers, 85 million views, 2 million likes, 3 million comments, 2.5 million hours of videos watched on the channel. That sounds pretty impressive. I click that button, it generates a certificate, and then you can share that with your community. You know, we were talking earlier that maybe you shouldn't do a full live stream dedicated to this type of stuff. So what you might want to do instead is post it in your community tab on Twitter, IG, etc., etc. And this achievements tool is 100% free when you download vidIQ. But if you wanted to take advantage of all of our tools, then we do have the 30-day free trial in the video description for new customers if you want to download vidIQ and give it a try. So do make sure to check us out when we finish this live stream, and we can continue to help you on your YouTube journey. All right, then, I think it might be time for a little bit of this. I'm going to pat myself on the butt there for a couple of seamless transitions to get from auditing channels to advertising vidIQ to Jeff.
The cloud.
Thank you very much. Somebody's got a voice modulator. How exciting is that? All right. This is how this part of the live stream works. We have 2 forms that you've been filling out. And as you can see, we have a lot of submissions. We're up to 500 plus from the gaming and non-gaming channels. And what we do is we take our tool, which I just want to adjust to make sure we cover all of the channels. And then Jeff didn't get it there. He decided not to give us a sound effect. That was 41. We take that channel number and we alternate from non-gaming channels to gaming channels. And the first channel we are going to look at here is a non-gaming channel that comes by the name of Bradley Mcknight. We are encountering these channels for the first time here, first impressions, and we're looking at somebody who is new to YouTube, 73 subscribers, no channel banner yet. And on first viewing, I would assume this is a shorts channel because of the way all of the thumbnails are set out. But all of the thumbnails and video lengths are above 3 minutes, if not more. So there are no custom thumbnails. So that would be the very first suggestion I would suggest to Bradley Mcknight, is that you need to start creating some custom thumbnails for your content. What else can we see here?
Looks like they're doing covers, because looks like they're
I
it's
think so.
like Angels, Your Love, 9 p.m. and Don't Look Back in Anger. He's doing cover versions of songs from Elvis Presley. Okay, interesting. But yeah, I agree. So there's some YouTube basics that Bradley or whoever is assisting him with his channel would want to probably look into. It just depends, because I'm assuming that this channel was submitted in hopes of making improvements. So and music channels can definitely work well, especially singing covers, especially if it's music that Bradley loves, or things that are popular, if there's a middle ground there. But some of the basics would be making sure that you're putting, a proper 16:9 thumbnail on there, and then start thinking about looking at other channels that do cover songs, and which ways they use for title structure, whether it's the name of the artist first, because it's Stuck on You by Bradley Knight or Mcknight. But the thing is, unless Bradley Mcknight is already famous, you might have to use the name of the actual artist.
Yep.
So, and that way there's some searchability behind it, and it can be Stuck on You by Elvis or whoever it might be, as sung by Bradley Knight or Mcknight, something like that. But think of it in that sense, where to get found, you're going to have to use the actual artist name.
All right, maybe this is the unique thing for this particular channel. I know we've talked about this before, but I don't know why people put their channel name in the titles of their videos. You realize that when somebody clicked on a video, your channel name appears right at the bottom of the video, right? Or am I missing something here?
No, some people just don't know. It's just YouTube basics that some people are just unfamiliar with.
No, but I've seen a lot of people do this, and I'm just curious why they do it, though.
I think, from what I remember correctly, because I did this a long time ago until I learned better from our friend Nick, it was one of those things where I was told by others in groups that you wanted to have your name in the title for SEO purposes, but nothing could be farther from the truth.
So, name of track, name of actual music artist, possibly include musical cover potentially in the title or in a thumbnail, might be a better way forward here. I'm also noticing this channel hasn't done anything for 6 months. So obviously, again, along with the other basics that we've talked about in terms of a custom thumbnail, tweaking the title, perhaps recording in landscape as well, because again, of a viewing experience, although people may watch this on mobile. Also committing to a video a week or a video every 2 weeks. It looks as if your rough schedule was once a month beforehand. That would be something to commit to, so you get at least 20 videos out of the door by the end of this year. And there was one more thing that came into my head and then has immediately vanished from my head. What was it? View counts. They're not actually too bad. We see many music cover channels that struggle to get double digits, let alone getting hundreds of views. So obviously the audience, when they found their content, was enjoying it enough for YouTube to recommend it a little bit. So that's a positive sign for the channel. Final thoughts?
No, I think we covered it.
Then we will move on to the next one. Jeff, if you shall, please.
The Claw.
All right. Channel 192. This is a gaming channel that we're looking at this time. And they call themselves GC Clash Royale. I think this is a channel about Age of Empires 2.
Oh, right.
This is why you don't have a gaming channel.
Oh.
So doing shorts on, we can safely assume, Clash Royale. They've hidden their subscriber count, so we can't really tell in terms of subscribers to view counts how they're doing. They are on the road to 1,000 subscribers, though, according to their description. We usually tell you to unhide that, mostly because it weirds us out. There's really no reason to hide it or not to hide it. It's just that we like to see it, and I think a lot of people like to see it. Your viewers like to be there on the journey with you. I don't think it's a make or break. I don't think not having it's going to keep people from ever subscribing to your channel. It's just a cool thing to see. Very impressive view counts on your shorts.
Yes, I think it is a shorts channel exclusively, Dan. Just looking at this, I can't see, because here's something that's changed. YouTube now doesn't show the timestamp for shorts.
Right.
Just the icon. So I don't know if it's 10 seconds long or 60 seconds long.
Well, when you view shorts, you know, on the sidebar there, where if you click on shorts, it doesn't show the view counts in there, which is very, very weird. I was noticing that yesterday. So yeah, we get the like count and we get the comments. I think this is just the same with TikTok. Like the view count is like missing.
We should build a tool for that. We should get that in there.
Yeah, it'd be very cheeky of us. Okay, so it depends on this creator's goals, right? If they're asking us, like, I'm trying to imagine why they submitted their channel. Like, what could they be doing better? You're already doing everything right, I would say, in terms of like your shorts. Obviously, people are watching, they're spreading, you're getting thousands of views on these. So is the question, I would like to pivot to long form content. How do I know I can do that? Because we get that one a lot. So I just have to answer hypotheticals here. If that's the case, look at your data and look and see if when you post a short, where do the majority of your views come from? Because if you're at a point in your shorts journey, and you very well could be, that you're getting a ton of views on these from browse before they ever hit the short shelf, that is the indicator that I've seen. This is the indicator that BlockFax has used. It was permission to pivot into long form content. Now you'd make the same kind of content, but widescreen and maybe a little bit longer. So it appeals to the same exact viewer. But if people are already finding your shorts before they ever even hit the shelf, that's a really, really good sign. But that's only assuming you want to pivot to long form content, which we have no indication of that. I'm just trying to figure out what advice can we give them?
I can see that they're doing this. Can a characters in the game do something?
Yeah.
And you feel as if you could turn that into long form content. Like, can these ranged characters, so not just one archer, but like an archer and an artillery character, or a witch, or whoever has a ranged attack, that could turn into like a 3-4 minute possible montage of all of these. But view counts are very, very consistent. Again, this is something that I find really interesting in shorts, because you often see spiky views. Even in a shorts channel, you get one video that has 100,000 views and then another one that has 500, but they're hitting the mark here of around 2,000 plus views on every video. And are there many viral moments for this channel? I wouldn't say those are really impressive view counts, but they're not super viral shorts moments. So that's, again, really encouraging from a return viewer perspective.
Yeah. And, their latest video is kind of interesting. 8 hours ago, best fireball ever. That title represents a change in what they've been doing, which was going to be my next suggestion. Is now, can you try doing shorts in the same game, but different concepts? Can you play around with those? And it looks like you did. And now I'm really wondering if you are getting a lot of returning viewers from browse when you post the other types of shorts, where it's like, can these barbarians and minions do a thing? Because you're getting so many views so consistently. And I saw that happen to my own channel when I tried this. So I'd be looking at that data and then deciding what to do from there. But if you want to continue being a shorts channel, that's totally cool. The next step is to continue tweaking your content strategy. Can you make these videos even more epic in some way, even shorter, perhaps, with more sound effects, things that are going to keep your retention really, really high, because that's what's going to take you from the 2,000s in terms of regular views to the tens of thousands of views. So it really does come down to your editing and the quality of the content itself.
Final question about posting schedule consistency. We see here that this channel posted
a whole bunch,
several videos 2 days ago.
Yeah.
For a shorts creator, we give you permission to do that. You can post as much content as you want. Having said that, you go from 2 days ago to 6 days ago. So there was a big gap there. So should the creator still be using a bit of common sense in saying, okay, I've just made these 6 videos. I'm not going to be able to do anything for a week. I should maybe stretch them out to 2 videos per day until I can record something else.
I think so. Yep. Especially if you're, whether or not you're pivoting to long form content, if you're seeing a lot of people coming in from browse, your returning viewers, even things out a little bit for them, because that's going to matter.
Yeah. So GC Clash Royale, I think a very promising channel there. We know you're above 500 subscribers because you got the community tab. I'm wondering if you've hit 1,000 yet. But to be honest, it doesn't matter, because you are not a slave to the requirements for monetization. You just need to get, well, I said just, you probably need to get 1 million views to start earning some bonus payouts from YouTube. All right, next. Oh, you've got something else, Dan?
Nope, I just
Okay.
said yep.
All right, here we go. Okay.
The clown.
Thank you, Jeff. Is there an echo in here?
You're helping Jeff with his impressions. It's
Yeah.
that was a lot closer.
Okay. Viper, do you want to lead with this channel? They call themselves, when they send me a video link instead of a channel link, let's just get to the right place. They call themselves Stay Home to Shop. What do you see here?
Okay, pretty self-explanatory. Stay at home shopper. Okay, I like. All right. So first thing I see is the avatar. Now, while the logo I like, if you want to, if this is you and not an actual company, then you might want to use a picture of yourself as the avatar. It just makes that channel much more humanizing to potential viewers. So you may want to consider that. Other than that, I mean, you got yourself a lot of thumbnails. So I would just say take that same picture of you and put it in the avatar and do that. So we're getting past that. Some of your thumbnails are a little too busy, and some of your color choices are questionable because they're hard to read. So you might want to just be careful with your colors and how they clash. As far as your shorts go, and we got another one who doesn't like to show the sub count. Interesting. Okay. All right, 5K donation created for P. Okay, that's cool. You don't want to use hashtag for titles. I should say you don't want to use only hashtag for titles. Don't do that because don't do that. That's bad.
I am being thrown into a YouTube existential crisis on shorts here. Why do some of these have the timestamps and look clearly like shorts, and some of them have the icon? And I play this video, and it plays as a short, and I play this video, and it doesn't play as a short. What's up with that?
It's possible they rendered it in 16:9, but only had a 9:16.
Oh, you could be right. Yeah, so that's actually video space there. Interesting.
You know how it used to go gray on the sides, like the
Yeah.
gradient? That's missing. So that's literally it's not going to be a short.
It might be because it was premiered as well. I wonder if that had an impact.
Yeah, probably.
There was another one here. That was premiered. Okay, we're getting really into the weeds here. I'm just finding this interesting. This channel went through a massive pivot, like they were doing long form content with really intentional thumbnails and presumably themselves in the thumbnails. And they kind of abandoned all of that 3 months ago. And it feels as if now they're in the fog of YouTube war, almost like they don't know what to do or where to go at this point, looking at their recent content.
Yeah, it does seem like they are in a creator block a little bit. Yeah. It's just so weird because the past videos they're in the thumbnail, they have that community connection, and then these later video with these short. Obviously there's no thumbnail with the short, but even the non-short videos, as you guys just showed, doesn't really have a thumbnail to it.
I mean, if I was going to give this channel advice, I would return to what they were doing 6 months ago, which was, being really consistent, building up a catalog of content. And the view counts here are fairly positive. They're in the hundreds, 500 plus for a channel that had only made 10 videos at the time. I'd be really encouraged about that. It feels as if either life got in the way or they were getting frustrated. They just gave up. But it feels as if their beginning was promising.
It was. I think the thumbnails could use some improvement from days of old.
Yeah.
I guess my camera froze. I apologize. So if you're going to go back, I would improve on your thumbnails, and then I would also, because these seem like videos that are going to expire really quickly, right? Like these deals only are for a limited time.
True.
I'd be thinking about how could I make these evergreen? And one idea that comes to mind is there are ways to consistently save money on certain products. Like maybe you could do some videos every so often that are like how to always save $100 on a plane ticket or something like that. So share other saving tips, as it relates to your audience. If it's only like CVS and these types of products, then maybe find what works for you. But I'd be playing with that. And I just think the thing that you might have been struggling with in the past, although the view counts are pretty promising from back then, is just the very busy thumbnails.
Let's pick another channel. Just bear with me 1 second. This is my turn. The Claw.
Not bad. Not bad.
Right, I've got to set up my microphone again now. Right. Okay. Everything's working. 172. 172. I wonder if we could get dinged for just continuously using that intellectual property from Toy Story. It's done in jest. It's parody. It's parody if Disney are watching. Bit Quasi.
Huh.
I think they're building.
Minecraft channel.
Yeah.
We're an hour and 20 minutes in, Dan, and we finally have a Minecraft channel.
About
Not bad.
time. Where have you
Mhm.
been, Minecrafters? What's going on?
Yeah.
So they started a year ago, but have not posted a whole lot, and unless we talk about the last month or so, last 12 days, 8 days, 7 days. So it looks like they are kind of back on the horse, as they say. I see that you are using a similar thumbnail strategy to maybe Farsi. I'm just recognizing the inventory full of amazing items next to something. So interesting strategy, and I think there's plenty of room in this space for more of that. What I would say, though, is that if you were to look at Farsi's thumbnails, there's a couple things that he's doing a bit differently. You've put 4 elements in your thumbnail, whereas he uses 2. So if we look at Farsi's channel real quick. So, well, I guess he uses a few, but they're a lot smaller. So Minecraft Hardcore is one element. It's really tucked in the corner. He's in there with his Minecraft character, really small, though, and then there's an episode number. Other than that, the stars of these thumbnails are usually the slide on the left with showing something, like showing the proof, right? So like I made an insane Guardian farm, and you see all the inventory full of Guardian shards or whatever they're called. And then on the right side is the incredible thing that it's housed in. So in this case, like a big balloon or whatever that is. So there's 2 elements to like focus on. And your thumbnails were similar. Like you could see the inventory, the impressive inventory on the left, but you covered the right side with red text that's kind of hard to read. And then like I could tell there's something back there, but I can't really see what it is. And your character is blocking it anyway. So if you were trying to copy that strategy, that's just the big difference there. Is I can't really tell what's going on the right side of the thumbnail, but the left side seems impressive. And I think this is a good start. Building the ultimate crop farm, though, you know, the promise is made in the title, and then of course the thumbnail's delivering on it by showing you all of the haul you got from that, the emeralds and the wheat and all of that. Like that does look like an ultimate crop farm, and I want to know more. And it's Minecraft Hardcore. So the next thing I'd be doing is, once you kind of figure out that strategy, like, can you up the stakes somehow? Can you take this in a new direction? Because as we just saw with just one channel, like people are kind of delivering on this right now. So where's the next place you can take your style of content? Because making impressive farms has been done a lot, but is there a new approach? Is there a new thing you could be doing in Minecraft that is like going to set you apart? And I know I say that and that sounds incredibly daunting, but that's because Minecraft has been covered by like millions of creators at this point. So it's going to be daunting, and Farsi's done a lot to kind of set himself apart, and every big Minecraft channel you can think of has done a lot to set themselves apart.
It is not a bad start for a channel
No.
with 8 videos. They've already had one video have 1,000 views. They have 2 videos that have got more than 100 views. I know this sounds like small fry, but when we talk about the 4 millionth Minecraft channel on YouTube, competing with all of those other creators, they've already figured some sort of stuff out, Dan, which is encouraging to see.
Yes.
And you know, these thumbnails are not at the level of Farsi, but for a channel with under 100 subscribers, they're pretty damn good to start,
Yes.
start off with. Yeah.
Yeah. For perspective, they're doing a lot of really cool things. It's just that next step that needs to be taken now.
Yeah.
Channel 287. Sorry, Jeff, did you want to chime in there, or are you just agreeing?
No, I was just gonna say I remember. I think they're doing well, because I remember when I had 40 subs, I would struggle to get 5 views on a video.
Yeah.
So you know that speaks highly to them when they're pulling in 50, 60, or over 100 views. They're doing something right.
You can carry on then, Jeff, with just Lucinda. Let's talk, presumably, about books, films, and television.
Okay, that's we're definitely guessing at that, but I'm assuming that's what's going on here. X-Men: The Last Stand, Miss Marvel trailer reaction, Turning Red. Okay, perfect. Fantastic Beasts 3, good. All right, so and this is kind of what I like to see, and it's a smart play in a sense of taking advantage of what is hot and trending right now. So definitely a smart move in that sense. Looks like the X-Men one struggled a little bit, but obviously The Last Stand is an older movie, so makes sense that the traffic would be less on something like that, versus like newer Pixar stuff, newer Star Wars stuff, newer Marvel. So yeah, that definitely makes sense. I'm looking at the thumbnails, and I don't know if maybe
I'm impressed by the audience numbers here for a channel with
oh yeah
700 subscribers. The last one, hey, 3,000 views. That's brilliant. But then 800 views, 1,000 views.
Mhm.
Usually we'd look at these reaction channels and they would really struggle to get more than 50 views. So I'm intrigued as to why that is. I'm wondering, what are the reasons here? Maybe the videos are quite short, most of them. Reaction videos tend to be 5, 10, 15 minutes.
except for these
This
last
one-
two.
Yeah, except for these long ones. But most of these are, they're either like quite long and in depth or relatively short and snappy. I'm curious to see what the engagement is. Okay, 59 likes, 10 comments. That seems a little bit low for the number of views. So I'm just asking the question, are they sharing this in a community somewhere?
Yeah, they also might not be doing a proper call to action to get people to engage with them. Like, one of the things that works really well, because you'll get a lot of this, and educators love, or educators hate hearing this, is when people say like, comment, subscribe. Like, don't say that. Don't say that. If you want people to like it, give them a reason to like it. If you want them to comment, ask them a question. And if you want them to subscribe, give them value. Right. So, but if you want people to comment and engage with your videos, you want to ask them questions throughout your video directly, like you're engaging the audience. You could do it multiple times, you could do it once, but you want to look directly at the camera and ask the viewer something very specific. Like if you're talking about the X-Men, like, hey, what did you think of this movie? Which was your favorite X-Men character? Let me know in the comments. Mine was Wolverine, but which one was yours? Like basically really address them. And that's how you can start stirring up more comments and more engagement on your videos. It could be that they're just missing that opportunity. But overall, I like what they're doing. Obviously they're getting good views because they are going after trending topics. So it's a smart play, you know what I mean? Whether and one thing I will say too is also in that last video, they took a stand. Like they're not fence sitting. They picked a side. Either they liked it or they didn't like it. And that's something that's a smart play I want people to pay attention to in the chat here. Pick a side. You either like something or you don't like something, and really put that in the title. Have that title ahead, so when you make the video, you go into it with that energy. So because this way, people who didn't like it, they're going to want to click on it because you agree with them, and then people who liked it are also going to want to click on it because they want to see why they shouldn't have liked it. So,
oh, that's interesting. So the title and the thumbnail, and they're doing a video hook, which is almost like a coming up. Do you notice that? It's kind of there's a 4:3. There's a 4:3 aspect ratio, and the play button. That's quite an interesting audience retention tactic there. I like that.
Yeah,
really like that.
It's a smart move. It's something. The 4:3 isn't something I see normally on reaction type channels, but doing that for just your intro, smart move.
Jeff, sorry, not Jeff. Dan Viper. Any other extra thoughts?
Jeff hit the point I was going to hit, which is if you can put your opinion in that title or in the thumbnail, like a lot of people are going to react to, say, like, I think tomorrow Mcknight comes out, the first episode. A lot of people are going to be covering it, doing reactions, things like that. So if you were to do that, like, how are you going to set yourself apart? Well, it's probably going to be with like maybe an outlandish opinion, or something like that.
And then just going through.
Dan,
sorry,
watching Moonlight.
Oh yeah, of course.
Just going through their catalog of content, they've been very consistent and committed to publishing 1 or 2 videos a week for about a year now. And the view counts back then were quite healthy as well. So maybe they're just struggling to build a returning audience. They look as if they have a set number of views, which is between 500 and 1,000, sometimes a little bit more, sometimes a little bit less. But encouraging, very solid work from the creator here. Okay, I think we'll do another non-gaming channel because I want Viper to lead with this one, and then we'll do a gaming channel to bring Dan in. So we have 2, 3, 1. Viper, so get ready, unmute your microphone. You are looking at Max Saris, who is a personal development channel, and they look a little like this.
All right. So we got Mac, self-development content and experiences. Okay. I like that defined proposition in your banner. So good look there. I like the fact that you have a headshot of yourself as your channel avatar. So that's cool. Let's see, 300 subscribers, self-help content. Let's see, how to overcome fear. How does awareness feel like? How does that? Okay, that title bothered me. And I don't know why. I think it's something to do with grammar, but I'll come back to that. Let's see. 100 days of journaling, top 5 mistake. Moving out it. Okay. Your thumbnails, they are. It's kind of hard for me to put my finger on it, but I feel like they're lacking something. I just feel like they're lacking intent. That's what they're lacking. Yeah, I feel like your thumbnails are lacking intent. You got stuff going on. I like the fact that you're keeping it simple, but your thumbnails don't tell me enough from first glance about what's happening in the video. And I know why that one title bothers me. The one that says, how does awareness feel like? It should be, what does awareness feel like? That's why it bothered me. So you have that grammatically wrong. So you might want to change that. Unless that's what your actual intent was, then don't listen to me. But grammatically, that just drove me off. And I don't think that's grammatically not correct, but I digress. Let's see. Who is Max Dollar? Okay. Just a quick point of order for all of y'all in the live stream. Nobody cares about intro videos. We've been trying to tell y'all not to like skip the intro entirely. So you definitely should be making dedicated intro videos. Don't do that. People are there for the content, but do with that information what you will.
Same
but
goes
yeah,
for channel updates.
What's that?
So the same goes for channel update videos.
The viewers don't care. They're just there for the information. They don't want an intro. They don't want a channel update. So don't waste that real estate.
It could just be the trailer, though.
Yeah, well, we've got one here. We do have a trailer there.
No. Oh yeah. All right, so I think my number one thing for you is your thumbnails. Your thumbnails, they look bland and they lack intent. They're bland and they lack intent. So I need you to figure out a way to make them pop more and to provide more intent. The titles and thumbnails should be married. So if your title is talking about awareness, then maybe put yourself in a situation that requires you to be aware of what's going on. Like maybe you're downtown in a busy urban metro area, something that promotes needing to be aware. Your thumbnail they're just not doing it for me. But I'll let the rest of my cohort chime in here.
There's one video in particular that I've been looking at for a while. I meditated 2 hours every day for a week. And it reminds me, the thumbnail and just the structuring of that title remind me of what we'd see from a lot of these really big channels that like take on a challenge, right? The problem with that video is like, and what? Like, because it's a video about meditating, but like, what's the draw? Like, what's that? It's just missing that one last little element. Like, did you meditate in a certain location? Did something go horribly wrong? Like, and I know it's a self-help channel, but that if you're going to go after that kind of titling structure, I think it implies that there's this reason to watch. Something happened because I meditated for 2 hours every week. If you're just going over the benefits of meditation, then that's a different story. Now we're talking about a title about like top 5 reasons to meditate every day, you know, and I tried it for a week or something like that.
Yeah,
well Dan, you say that, and if we just look down here, that like the video before it, they had one extra element.
Yep.
1,000 days.
See, the stakes were raised. That's a challenge. And they said my experience. So it's like after 1,000 days, what is your experience for meditating? Now I got to know.
It's interesting how like they did follow up on that. They doubled down on that content, and this one seemingly flopped. Is it as simple as they didn't apply stakes to the thumbnail? Maybe if they change that thumbnail, like if this video is still bringing in views, or maybe we can check that. Is it still bringing any views for the channel? A few, not many.
Yeah,
I'm wondering if I could rescue that.
Thumbnail for sure. And then if there's a way to word the title a little bit better to add that third element, assuming a third element actually exists in this video. Because we're kind of assuming that, right? Like, let's say he just meditated for 2 hours a day, but doesn't give us a reason why or that third element, then it becomes clickbait. So we have to be careful with that. Only do that change to the title if it makes sense. Otherwise, I'd be following up this content with something better, like with that third element included. But this is also leads back to what I said before. have those title and thumbnail ideas ready before you turn on the camera. Have all those pieces of the puzzle in place so that you can have your strategy follow your thumbnail, your title, and what you actually do or say in the video.
Now, I may be wrong here. Sorry, Dan, have you got another point? I want to.
Sorry,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
It was just the one. It was one other video I was going to point out. How to overcome the fear of starting your YouTube channel. Now that video title and everything seems great for maybe a channel like ours, but I'm wondering if that could have been more broad. Instead of starting a YouTube channel, could you have made that appeal to more people by saying overcoming the fear of speaking in front of others or speaking into camera or something like that? Because people are starting TikToks and all kinds of stuff. So again, just like thinking about the audience you're trying to target, I guess. That's kind of a whole different audience. People are afraid to start YouTube channels.
The final point I wanted to make was again about the thumbnails. When I think of a self-development, maybe mental health channel, I feel a air and presence of calmness and relaxation. But many of these thumbnails don't give me that feeling and sense. They feel a little chaotic. And they almost feel sometimes, some of these thumbnails, a little stressful in just how much is going on in the thumbnails and how they're presented to the viewer. Whereas you have these meditation ones where they're all more minimalist and perhaps more calming, perhaps in the pitch of a thumbnail. So that was my thought. I don't know if that's just me. It's just how these thumbnails come off to me when I look at them, and presumably the value proposition of the channel. Let's pick a gaming channel this time, Dan. Cracky Knuckles, get ready for a channel that is called the Meme Master. How does a Meme Master channel fit into gaming?
Oh, the danky meme gaming memes?
We could have a danky meme one, although looking at some of these thumbnails and titles, it's just Angry Birds gameplay.
Shorts, which is fine. Angry Birds 2 gameplay does not feel like the kind of content you would expect to see on a channel called Meme Master. So it seems like that content should go on a separate channel, which is just my very quick take. We know very little. The titles of these shorts are very, very, very short, a lot of them.
File namey. I'm going to call them.
File namey, which is okay. I am missing some context. So let's see, if we click on one of these, like Xbox 360 cleaning down there at the bottom, like that seems it's bottom left. There you go. That seems pretty normal. Like what is it about this? So I'm just kind of wondering. Okay, so they are literally cleaning their Xbox 360.
Is there some ASMR going on here?
Potentially.
A little bit. A little bit.
It looks pretty well.
It's satisfying, man. It's
yeah,
it looks well too, and it's satisfying.
If it was just a channel cleaning consoles and games and controllers, that is interesting in itself, isn't it? But what was the next video after that? Justice League figures.
Right.
Ugh.
So we know that shorts in terms of upload frequency is about momentum, right? But what we haven't really discussed in the past is, does that momentum include the kind of short you're making? So for example, if one video you're cleaning Xboxes and the next video you're collecting gaming controllers, while that may still be kind of relevant to gaming, is that the same kind of thing that the audience is going to return for? You know what I mean? So I think it'd be an interesting test if you made maybe 50 shorts that were about a thing, not jumping around. It feels like you're topic jumping within your shorts, and that might be why you're struggling to get any of these to kind of take off, because YouTube is probably looking for more information based on maybe other shorts, so it kind of can figure out, who am I going to share these with? You know,
this two here about controllers, like choose your weapon. That's an interesting.
That's good
idea of like, it's going to share the PlayStation 1, then the DualShock, and then the GameCube controller, and like you've got to make a decision at the end, so it encourages engagement. And then the one above it, maybe asking which controller fits best in your hands. I think for me personally, I'm going to go with the Xbox 360 controller. I think that's the best controller I've used, because it just does everything right. Nothing spectacular so, but I do love that controller.
And it might be, it could be, if it's not the consistency and the type of content you're making, it might just be the interest level. So, okay, so you have like a special box.
Okay,
that's kind of cool. So, and what I like is that look how quickly it started. The box came in and you already kind of had an idea of where this was going, you know? So in the first second, I'm kind of drawn to this. So do you have more stuff like this where you can kind of like, that's
that's fine. So that was like a listicle short, wasn't it?
yeah.
Interesting.
Nice.
Yeah. So I would continue to play around with these. I know shorts are going to be really spiky in terms of views, but you can still build up returning viewers on a shorts channel. And so
here's the thing, Dan, they don't have to be spiky. You know, we just looked at that Clash Royale channel, super consistent, getting 1,500 views a short.
Yes.
They could do this. This channel could do something similar.
But that's what I'm saying is right now they're spiky. And I think I think it feels like shorts are supposed to be like this, right? For a lot of creators who don't understand them, they're like, oh, it's just some shorts make it, some don't, whatever, just put up whatever you want. But we've seen it, we just saw it today, and we've seen it time and time again. When people are consistent in the type of short they're making and they're uploading consistently, you know, that builds. Returning viewers on shorts is not anything to be
look at that.
I love that.
Nice museum. Yeah.
Returning viewers on shorts is not anything to take lightly, because if you have an audience of people who are enjoying your shorts, YouTube has someone to share it with early on, and they get a lot of data a lot quicker, and they can decide, hey, this short is actually pretty good. I'm going to share it, and you don't have to wait as long for it to, quote, hit the shelf.
All right, let's play a little game here. I'm distracted. So we got an N64 there, an NES, PlayStation. What do you reckon that is? A Saturn?
That could be an old Xbox. That's the original one.
Could be, yeah. You call this the Genesis, don't you?
Yeah. Sega Genesis, yep.
Sega Mega Drive, it was called in the UK.
Oh.
That is a European Super Nintendo. Super Nintendo, yeah, it's a European version. Dreamcast. What are people's thoughts on a Dreamcast? Oh, it was a brilliant machine. Just didn't have enough games in the library.
It was really good for its time, yeah.
Yeah, it was before its time. Yeah, it was good.
Power Stone, Crazy Taxi, Soul Calibur. Oh. 360,
of course.
Switch. And is that a custom
That's
GameCube?
a GameCube.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right. Welcome to Guess That Game Console. Next channel is
Well, was there a Neo Geo?
88.
Or a Jack 164?
I had a Neo Geo Pocket, if anyone can remember that.
It would have been funny if they panned over and there was just a cell phone laying on one of the shelves.
Classic.
Like this gaming evolution.
Hang on, there's more here. Let's see.
There's a Wii U, a
PS5 up there, yeah.
PS5 up there.
PS3 Slim?
Yeah, I think so. Xbox
PS2.
One?
A Series S.
Oh,
yep.
Yeah.
And PS4. Yep. PS5. Yeah.
Oh, is that one of the retro ones?
It's no mini classic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Anyway, where were we?
Don't mind us geeking out. Just a bunch of old geeks. Don't worry about it.
Right, was that 88? Yes.
All the gamers we have in the chat, they understand the assignment.
Hashtag boomer geeks.
I know where I am. By the way, interesting update. I have found what should have been Zelda Breath of the Wild for this generation. Tunic. It is a isometric RPG, and although it looks very cartoony, it is a lot harder than you think. And I'm just getting into it. I'm on the fence as to whether I'm really enjoying it, but check it out. Xbox Game Pass for
You're recommending a game that you don't even know if you enjoy?
After all that, he's enjoyed it. Apparently,
I've enjoyed the first hour. It's a couple of hours. It's a game that like doesn't guide you whatsoever. Like it doesn't. You see text on screen. It's in the game language, and you have to pick up parts of the game manual which tell you a little bit more about how it works. And I've been stuck for the last half an hour because I have no idea where to go, and I don't know if that is really annoying me or it's adding a bit of charm. And I've just realized. Hang on. Oh, no, sorry, I thought my silver play button had fallen over. Where were we? I'm getting super distracted. We're talking about
the channel, and these thumbnails on this channel are awesome. I love these thumbnails. So looks like we have a channel here talking about a Disney Pixar movie, which is cool.
Listicle, interesting.
Wait, what?
I'm just okay. Listen to this.
Towards the Space Ranger accidentally time traveling.
Oh God! Stop! Stop it! Make it stop!
Well, it's not to say. So here's the thing, though, and this kind of also can prove a point. Sometimes view counts are pretty decent on some.
Yeah.
They've gotten up to 6,000 subscribers, but some of the stuff kind of doesn't match. So I'm a little suspicious. I'm gonna be honest. I'm like this right now.
Can we throw about more pop? Yeah, thank you.
Are they doing that thing that some channels do where they make like fake trailers and stuff and like rake in tons of views off stuff that doesn't actually exist?
Concept
be.
trailers,
Yeah.
maybe.
I've,
Oh, right, okay.
I've
All
gotten so
trailers,
tired
videos.
of those. No hate against this creator, but I've gotten so tired of those that I've started blocking the channels because I'm so sick.
Wow. Wow, that really is. That really is.
It's again, nothing against this channel, and I get what those creators are doing, and it's working for them. And some of them are actually kind of interesting, but I got so tired of seeing them pop up as if they were real trailers that I'm like, okay, no more.
Yeah.
Just block. Well, the most popular ones, I've just blocked them.
Yeah, I've kind of gone along the same lines, and it's for me, it's just a personal thing for my own. For what comes up in my browse feed is the reason that I did it.
Yeah,
I'm like Dan. I don't hate the player. I hate the game. I understand what they're doing and why they're doing it. And hey, if people click, more power to you. But it's just not for me. But I mean, the thumbnails are great on here. They're talking about topics that people care about. Obviously, when we're talking about popular movies, popular Disney IP, whether it's Marvel, Star Wars, or Pixar, a lot of views to be had there. But yeah, the robot voice just gets me though, man.
Yeah, the robot voice a no-go. But it seems like, I don't know if that's just the one video a one-off, but it seems like this audience does not care about Star Wars, at least in that one video.
Yeah, when I thought about most popular, it looks as if the audience is gravitating towards Disney animation, be it Pixar or the first party ones, like Frozen and Encanto. So maybe, even though there is, they can do trailers on anything, maybe niching a little bit towards the Disney animations is their strength. I guess the one big problem with all of this is that they are at the mercy of IP and copyright. And it could be that all of these videos get dinged with copyright claims. I don't know how much that is, because obviously you are doing some transformation in terms of some voiceover and switching up the animations. Is that going to be enough, though, from a copyright perspective?
Yeah. Especially at this point in their channel, here's what I would do. If we're getting in views like the way that they're getting right now, at a certain point, I would be doing like we said for the other channel, and I'd be investing some of the AdSense, if they're getting any, invest that in some in a pro voice actor or a semi-pro voice actor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm curious. How many views are they getting? So they're getting towards 500,000 views per month, so maybe they're earning a couple of $100 if that content is monetizable.
Right.
Yeah. I have a quick vidIQ tool there, by the way, to show you how many views a channel is getting over a period of time. All right, let's move on to the next one. That was a non-gaming channel. It must have been. So we have got just over 10 minutes to look at some more channels. 285. This is a gaming channel. They are called the NHL Gamer.
Ooh, hockey. All right.
Better be about NBA Jam.
Don't watch.
My copy and paste clearly didn't work there. Let's try
They had us going in the first half, sir.
Oh my God, that's not hockey.
Again.
There
we go. There we go.
Ooh,
wow, new channel. Super new channel.
Yeah, wait.
Bad timing in terms of NHL. We got like a month left. Well, not bad timing. It's still got the playoffs. Isn't like the playoffs in NHL last about 9 months, don't they? They go on forever.
NHL 22 is not out yet. What is this?
I think it is. Don't they release the way he number things is they release it for the next year?
For football, yeah. For hockey, no. Oh, that's on monthly. Maybe I'm missing. I don't think. Okay, but maybe these might be what these might be the promo video for the game.
It says it came out October 15th, 2021.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Interesting.
Oh, that's wait. No, NHL 22. Yep, came out in October of 2021.
So it would be 23 that we'd be waiting for.
Okay.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. So these are just random game clips. Rob, can we have like any voice in them at all, or we just?
So there was no voice there. That was just the game being played. Let's listen to this one. This is literally gameplay. So no voiceover or narration or anything.
There's your problem right there. I mean,
Wow, that looks like the real thing.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Incredible.
You need some. First off, you might want to be careful how you're doing it. Although these are short, but you want to be careful that you are not just putting gameplay clips up and not doing any transformative content, because you might get hit with some copyright claims. You might want to be careful with that.
Is that true for video games?
It depends on the developer. I mean, some developers love it because it just sells more games. You know, if even it's not transformative, they're like, hey, you know, but some it's up to them. It's at their discretion.
I think it's a good general warning for any content that you're using that's not your own, no period. But yeah.
You want to scare some people in chat. Like, let me tell you this: if Microsoft ever decided that they were tired of Minecraft YouTubers, they could pull the plug on that tomorrow, and they could start hitting they could start hitting all of you Minecraft channels with claims and everything.
Keep going, Dan. You got another. Oh, yeah.
The violin.
So anyway, I just wanted to say, like, I think it's cool. They just started their experiment with shorts. So I think it's a couple different strategies with the shorts. It needs to be clear when we click into there that something's about to happen. Like, it needs to hook us immediately. And it's like, it looks like it's in the middle of like a celebration. Like, it feels like I just missed something. And then the clip starts, right? So this is where it should have started. The build up to the shot happening. So keep all this in mind when you're making your shorts. For the long form videos, I think watching you play silently, like just a fictional game of hockey, basically using this game, that's the wrong approach. Instead, I would be doing long form videos, but about tips on the game, on how people can get better. Think about people who are playing this game. What do they want? If I'm a player of this game and I'm looking for videos on it, what am I probably searching for? I'm probably searching on tips for how to get better. Or if it has a loot box mechanic, maybe it's how can I get this certain item, you know, different things like that. So use the game to bring a little more value to people, because I just don't think people want to sit there and watch someone not even commentate over their own gameplay.
Yeah. And that's one of the things where, like, just recently, and just to add on to what Dan said, we recently had Gran Turismo 7 release, and that's a game that I got immediately as soon as it came out. And I've been playing that game. Now, there's obviously some controversy around that. I'm not going to get into that portion of it. But one of the first things that I did was I found content from creators who were showing me how to make these cars better. Like, kind of, what's the best car for this particular race? What's the best car for this class of cars? Because some of these races require you to have a certain class of a vehicle. So which one is the better one? How do I tune that car? Right? So there's guys that were showing you how to do that. Like, here's your suspension, here's your transmission, here's the parts you need. Like, that kind of stuff. That's highly valuable. Now, mind you, while they're talking and stuff, sometimes they'll be showing the car, like, driving around, like, hey, you know, when I did this tune, my suspension is now handling much better. So you get to see some of the gameplay, but that's valuable content to somebody who wants to know, hey, what's the best setup for a Skyline R34? What's the best setup for a Mazda Miata? So it's valuable things. So for an NHL game or an NFL game or NBA game, it would be how to set up your teams. What's the best strategy for gameplay? What's the best defense? What's the best offense? So think about it in a sense of somebody who just got the game. What are the things that they're going to want to know? And that's easy content for you to jump into.
Yeah, and you can talk about the different modes of the game. I mean, one of the big modes in these NHL games are franchise modes. So you can talk about franchise mode and what type of features that brings with it. That's a big thing every year. And also they have, I forget what they call it in NHL, but in Madden, I think it's called your creator, your rise, or something like that. I don't know, but they have a mode where you can, like, create a character and then you bring the character up through the ranks, and you can talk about how that mode works out and different things like that. So there's a bunch of different ways to do content on a specific game, but what you're doing here with just blanket clip, you might want to think about doing other content.
6 subscribers. Every video other than the long form one has more than 100 views. That's the closest hockey noise I have available on my sound deck right now. Let's pick a non-gaming channel. This is channel 49. Now that I've got my sound deck working, I think I'm going to have some fun over the next few weeks. Stop it. Stop it. Funny, I'm allowed to make noises. Quita Whittle, stay healthy and keep dreaming. Animation channel? Yes.
Yep, looks like it. Mm-hmm.
Okay, an animation channel that hasn't animated anything for 3 months. So, first of all, let's get you back on YouTube. I guess maybe you're looking for advice. My advice is that for a channel of your size, you're getting very healthy views when you do make content. You just need to commit to consistency. And that is publishing at least one video a month, maybe taking some of those longer form videos, turning them into a 15 to 20 second clip that you can use as a short for when you're in between contents. Because I'm encouraged by the fact that this animation channel is often getting hundreds, maybe 1,000 views with a couple of videos that have gone a little viral. I saw one with 20,000 views. Let me see here. Yeah, this one got 20,000 views, which is fantastic. Any other thoughts, gentlemen?
More content.
Is that it?
That's
that what
that's
we're
the
going
biggest thing. If you're gonna, YouTube is a momentum game. Like if you're gonna stop uploading, it's really tough.
Why are there random shorts in there?
It's probably because animating takes so long. I think we've recommended people do that in the past. If you're an animation channel, you could utilize that. I think it's something we've told people.
What, doing random shorts?
Sorry.
These are truly random, aren't they? Like,
what is that?
I was looking at the other thumbnails when saying that. Yeah, this is another channel to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why you throw in the random short, but it looked weird.
That's boring. Just being honest.
It
Yeah,
says scary.
Yeah.
Maybe it was scary for them.
Yeah, that's one of the things we always have to remember. And like I said, just for this creator here and for everybody in the chat, always think about your viewership. Always think when you're uploading, if you have an idea for a video, much less before you turn on a camera, much less before you upload a video. When you have the idea, it has to pass this muster. It has to pass this filter. Does this make sense to my viewership? Does this make sense to my viewers and my channel and my target audience? Does it make sense? If a short about being on a plane or the ocean has nothing to do with animation, it does not pass that test and should not be on your channel. It should be on a separate channel if you want to upload random stuff. Not a problem with that, but not on this particular channel. So that's something I want you guys to think about. Everybody in the chat, if it doesn't make sense to your audience, even if it makes sense to you, if it doesn't make sense to your viewers, it doesn't belong on your channel.
You know what would have been cool though is that if that was like an experience that they had, like on a scary airplane ride, like use your animation to tell the
Animate
story.
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
animate it. Like talk about what it was like, and then in the meantime, there's the plane, and maybe there's a lot of turbulence, so you have the plane shaking, and then your character sitting there, like, you know what I mean? Like turn it into something. Like that's constantly where our heads are at when we're thinking about creating content for our own channels, right? We're always thinking about how can I turn this experience like into a video my audience will enjoy.
You know,
Well, now isn't that impressive? 1,000 views, 200 comments. Yeah, it looks as if he's replied to every single comment. So there's a community there. And each of these videos are getting like 1,000 views. I feel as if this creator doesn't realize how well they are doing on YouTube. They just got frustrated thinking that they weren't making progress and momentum, and they clearly are.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing is that Jeff had been saying all day today that you want to have your title and thumbnail thought out first before you record a video, because then you don't end up making a video that doesn't make sense to your audience. Because like he said, it is very important that when you create content or you strategize the content that you want to create for your channel, that it makes sense for your audience in relation to the other content that you already have on that channel.
That is incredible engagement for it. We see some channels which have hundreds of thousands of views and they'll get less than 20 comments.
Yeah.
The conversion rate here is incredible. Like 20% comments to view conversion rate. All right, you're probably responding to a lot of these, but that is very impressive.
That's still very good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And maybe it's because the stories are really relatable. People are just like having to share their own experiences.
Yep.
All right, in channel 200, I think this will finish off the live stream today, and I'm gonna let Dan pronounce this channel.
It's night, but the I got deleted.
Cool. Where did the X come from then?
That the X deleted it. That's how text works.
Ah, I see.
Yes.
The X is actually not pronounced. So it's
Mhm.
nugget.
The
Careful.
X, yeah, the X is actually pronounced with an I. Okay, I
Where
1v1
were we?
a YouTuber on Hyperlands, Hive gameplay. So they're doing some stuff in the Hive, which is a Minecraft server with mini games and things like that, which is cool. Let's see, month ago, 7 days ago, day. Okay, so what are we thinking? Maybe video a week, something like
Ish.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ish. Yeah.
Seems
Well,
like-
about a
seems
month
like-
ago, they had a bunch of videos, maybe 2 videos a week. So they're still here. They're still being semi-consistent. I think it's going to be the classic, titles and thumbnails. There's a lot of, like in the latest video, for example, there's a lot of negative space in the thumbnail where, if you want to scroll up again, it's just their character standing kind of in a weird spot, like not much concept there for like rule of thirds. And then 1v1 is kind of there, but it's really thin. It's kind of hard to see. And there's just a Minecraft horizon. So if I were thinking of a thumbnail for I 1v1 a YouTuber, what I would do is I would have your character on one side, the YouTuber on the right, and then you know how the Minecraft nameplate is over their heads? I would put the YouTuber's name in that nameplate. And maybe your characters are holding weapons, or if you animate the thumbnails the extra step, you could have them holding up their fists or something. But if you conceptualize I 1v1 to YouTuber, you'd want the thumbnail to sell it. So the YouTuber's name, hopefully they're like popular enough so it's, a easy selling point. And then there's you and there's them. It's like, oh, it's a 3-minute video. What happened? I know that YouTuber and I don't know this person. What went down? So be thinking about these things.
Keep going, Dan. Keep going.
Be thinking about these things when you create your thumbnails.
Brilliant.
These cues are all over the place.
I'm trying to throw you off.
Hive gameplay videos be like, and it's like, I understand where you're going with that title. Hive gameplays be like, but what's the be like? Like, show me in the thumbnail, because I can't really see what's going on. So work on your titles and your thumbnails. It looks like you're doing a lot of fun stuff. Your video lengths are short. You're getting hundreds of views for a Minecraft channel of your size. That's incredible. It's just selling your titles and your thumbnails. Get some practice in there and apply this to your next video at the end.
We are drawing to the close of another successful Tuesday channel audit live stream where we've looked at Minecraft channels, we've looked at aviation channels, we've looked at manga channels, we've looked at audio recording channels. The list is almost endless. I want to thank in advance if anybody does timestamp those channels. It is really appreciated whenever that is done. But there is no expectation. I just notice people do it, and I want to thank them, whoever does it, because I've seen a few people do it very recently. It is time to say goodbye, though. So if you do want to say your goodbyes, make sure to put that in the chat, because we will shout you out very, very soon. Of course, do make sure to subscribe to the vidIQ channel for notifications when we next go live with channel audits. In fact, if you do subscribe, you'll be getting a notification at around about 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time tomorrow, because Dan, you are leading the stream, and what will it be about?
Yeah. So if you've ever made a video or you've had a channel for a while, and you feel like, gosh, dang it, I'm losing a lot of viewers. That is the subject of tomorrow's conversation. We're going to help you to avoid maybe losing some viewers in the future and retaining the viewers you do get. So please do join myself and Mr. Rob Wilson tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific.
You have answered my question then, Dan. I am required for tomorrow. All right, Jeff, I'm going to give you the people you can say goodbye to. Who have we got here?
Just add more butter. We've got Katarina
name.
Chapman. Goodbye to you. We've got TF-Brit. See you next time. And Desi Wessie. Goodbye.
And I like this one. Yeah, this is all free info. We hope you take it usefully and apply it to your channels. Dan, you've got control. You can say goodbye to whoever you want, however you want.
Does anyone say bye to me? Anyone mentioning me specifically? This one's to Rob, Wyatt Plays. All right, whatever, Wyatt. Bye, I guess. Let's see. Goodbye, El Jefe says altitude flips. Whatever. Okay, fine. I guess I'm still sitting here and stuff, but that's fine. And then Knight didn't say bye to anybody, which is okay. But I'm still here. You can say bye to me. Does anyone want to say bye to me? Oh, here we go. Here's a couple of people.
Say bye to Dan's cat.
Let's say bye to my cat's tail. That was my goodbyes. I ranted them out.
Your turn, Viper.
Oh God. Goodbye to Outner. Oh, that's Tish. Hi,
Sorry.
Tish.
Hey, Tish.
People are supposed to say bye to me.
We got goodbye to Outer. I was trying. Okay, we're really going
It's
on.
Tish again.
Stop trolling me, Rob. Rob out here trolling me. Man.
I'm not pressing anything. I swear that's not me. That is definitely Dan.
Goodbye to Biko VR. Goodbye to you. Goodbye to Leanne. Appreciate you being here. And goodbye to what? Ah!
It's Dan, stop it. Stop sabotaging the end of his live stream.
I'm sorry.
We're supposed to be professionals here.
I'm sorry. You're
Bye,
right.
Calvin. I'm trying to get. They're out here trolling me.
All right. We'll see you all tomorrow.